It's a bit Hollywood, so you can imagine it has a happy ending. But anyway, like the story, well, have you ever really felt connected with animals in your life? Have you, I don't know, had that special experience? Our guest today is very special. The first foreign licensed horse trainer in Korea, Mr. Peter Woolsey. He'll join us on the mic very soon, so please stay tuned.
Woolsey, and I'm currently training in Busan as a thoroughbred racehorse trainer.
That's pretty serious.
Very serious.
These
yeah.
are not just like little ponies at the, the circus.
No, that's correct.
These are thoroughbred means that it's you can prove that it's lineage, right?
Well, they're virtually the elite athlete of the sport, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can be very dangerous at times.
Sure. I can imagine, sometimes the kick or whatever it is, if they're not happy.
Many things can happen. Many things can happen with the horse. You always have to be very careful.
Well, let's start at the beginning. What brought you to Korea?
I just left Beijing. I was training in Beijing, China for 3 years, and they closed down there, and I went back to Australia training. And I met a friend of mine that I knew in China, and he knew people in the KRA in Korea.
KRA stands for
Korean Racing Authority.
Okay.
Yeah, and he contacted me after a couple of weeks and asked if I wanted to train in Korea. And I thought, wow, something new, something different.
What season did you land in when you first came to Korea?
It was October, late October.
Not
cold.
bad.
It was, getting cold.
But it gets really cold.
It does. And this was not so bad, not as bad as Seoul,
That's
I believe.
True. And this was 3 years ago?
3 years ago, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So besides, like you say, Busan is not Seoul, Daegu's not Seoul. There's every city has its flavor. But what was your impression of Busan when you first got there?
Impression? It's a very nice country.
Yeah.
I probably the one thing that stood out the most was I thought a lot. Well, where I lived, I thought a lot more people would actually speak English. But it wasn't so, and I found it, when I'd landed, I just found it very difficult to go and buy something down the street or things like that. I expected a lot more English, I suppose, because of the war and all those sorts of things that happened and the occupation and stuff, so, but it just wasn't so.
Well, a long history, like you mentioned, and different places, different colors, differently. Very nice in Busan. We're going there actually very, very soon. You keep on mentioning training. I think we should just focus on that for a second. It sounds like almost like you're training. You train the horses.
The race horses, yeah. Well, it's everyone involved. There's jockeys, grooms, the trainer, even the track people around the track that control various things.
What are your responsibilities? What are your duties?
Yeah, well, my duties, organising everything, understanding the horses that are in my care for the owners. I organise work programs, organise the staff, jockeys, race day instructions, the day-to-day working of the horse, and the most important thing to me is understanding the horses that are in your care. To me, that's very important. I get up at 4 o'clock every morning.
Whoa.
I'm there in the stable, first up because I like to look at all the horses, see how they've eaten through the night, and various other things, and then organise the morning track work.
Man. Can you kind of run us through a schedule? Like you're up at 4. Do horses lie down and sleep, or they some?
Oh, both. They do both. They lie down to rest. They can stand up and sleep. They do both. They sleep at various different times through the day. I always try to finish work at about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and leave them throughout the day so they can rest. After the morning work, and then we feed them at night.
By the way, I've been known to sleep through an interview. Right now I'm awake, just to let you know.
That's good.
You say you leave them at 9, meaning 9 a.m.?
In the morning, we try and finish between 9 and 10 if we can, track work.
And so let's say, you're introduced to a horse for the first time. Is the process you meet the owners first? They say, Peter, we'd like you to work with our horse. You then go see the horse and say, I'm sorry, I can't. Nothing I can do, or yes, I'd be happy to work, show me the x-rays. How do you check a horse out?
An owner will approach us mostly with the said horse. We always try and accommodate, and we try and take every horse we can, and we try and do the best job we can. there's just many variables,
Mm.
you know, with the horse and learning about the horse and what it needs. Is it a young horse? Is it an older horse?
Yeah.
So there are many variable situations that you were put in.
Well, I'm kind of a layman. I don't really know like anything. Sorry about horse races. I just know I was born the year of the horse, and I like horses. And I had a horse when I was young for a very short time. But my uncle's house was my uncle's horse, but it just was cool to be on a large animal that could run so fast. It's almost scary, and to brush it down and to take care of it and to kind of I just remember kind of the pulling up the hoofs a little bit and scraping out the hoof area.
Yeah, we all start like that.
But these horses that race are, like you said, like the finest tuned athletes in the world. And what's kind of retirement age for a horse?
Oh, it can vary also. Career, I've noticed, retirement age are usually a lot earlier compared to overseas.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen only very few horses, but some horses in Seoul and Busan are racing up around the 8-year-old mark.
Okay.
Whereas, for instance, in Australia, where I'm from, it's quite common to race 8, 9 or 10-year-olds.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's a starting age, 3 or 4?
2-year-old generally.
2, okay.
2-year-old.
So a real life of racing is between 2 and 8, 2 and 9, something like that?
Yeah, I would think generally, yeah. Career a little bit shorter at this stage.
When you... And then is it common for like a male horse to then become a stud, or what?
No, not unless the horse is good enough. The horse has to have very good breeding behind it, family,
Yes.
and also good performance on the racetrack, like top class performance.